Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I have a really fun video. Everyone recently has got Bill from the summer track and I'm going to be testing him out a bit. I've been collecting some gameplay, got some Crucible, some Gauntlet from Spring of Sorrow and some BGs and War gameplay. So just a real quick one, just early testing, and after I collected all of this I decided to rank 3 him, and there's a little video of the rank 3 at the end of this. So we're going to be starting off with a Crucible fight. We've got this Hulkbuster. He is pretty tough and if you don't bring a good counter, but Bill just works so well for this. You don't want to bring a non-cosmic shock immune, and Bill is shock immune, but he is cosmic, so he ignores Hulkbuster's annoyingness. There is a dulled node here, but we don't mind if we don't crit. Bill's medium can pulverize armor up, so we can take away that annoying part of Hulkbuster's kit as well. So all I'm going to do here is bait out this last L1. We're going to go back, do our heavy charge, build up our 5 intensifies, that then puts an infuriate on Hulkbuster, makes him dash at us, and we intercept with our special 2. Now we have a big pause, that's the orange icons up there, and means we can pause our intensifies, get back to an L1. We can make sure that the shocks expire during this L1, which does a massive burst of damage. We get a fury buff, which is boosted by the intensifies, and we can get back up to another L1 really easily. Let the shocks expire a little bit more, throw another L1, and this does another big chunk of damage, and we can get back to one last L1, which should finish the fight. And we just need to let the shocks expire a little bit. I want to throw this L1 before the pause goes, because I want the shocks to get reapplied just in case we didn't finish off the fight. But we go for the L1 and it does. So Bill is a little bit complicated. This isn't going to be a full guide. I would recommend Karate Mike's guide, that's always good. But hopefully you will pick up a few things of how to play him. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a BG showcase or a full guide. I can put some more time into doing that if people are interested. Next up we have this Ultron in Crucible as well. So because he starts off by power draining us, Bill gains a big burst of power. It means that we can get up to our special 2 really quickly. In this fight we've just got to watch out for his evade, and also whenever he has an armor up he goes unblockable, so we need to make sure that we're taking those away with either pulverize or, as the node lets us, if we crit, that will also get rid of the armors. I want to trigger his evade whenever I can, but I also want to make sure that these shocks are expiring during my special 1. So whenever we start a combo with a medium, you'll see that the shocks start expiring faster, and then when we throw an L1, they also start expiring faster. So Ultron takes a big burst of damage and triggers a couple of armors. We just want to make sure we trigger his evade safely, and then we can sidestep him, and then I can go in here, pulverize another armor up, and he's not unblockable anymore. So his evade is coming up again, so we either want to trigger this safely, or I can just parry, throw my L1, and make sure that it connects that way. We refresh the shocks, and we deal with the armor ups again because he's unblockable. I want to safely trigger the evade, step back into a relic, and then we can medium to pulverize the armors again. Mediuming also starts expiring those shocks a little bit more, and when we go into this last L1 it kills. So yeah, this is the rotation with Bill often. You want to get to an L2, you want to make sure you do the heavy charge which pauses your buffs, and then you want to throw L1s after having done a couple of medium starting combos, or after you pause in the fight and just let them expire a little bit, and then you want to make sure that they expire during the special 1. So next up, this Viv fight is a little bit weird because whenever we're immune to effect, she gets a power gain passive, so we're going to have to deal with her special 2 in this fight, which means we're going to have to try and parry each hit. So we bait out this first L1 and then go back in and punish her. Now we're going to have to deal with the L2. So I try my best to parry each hit. I think I missed one of them, but we managed to parry the rest. And then I want to safely take this evade off cooldown again. Then we go for our heavy charge, and then we throw our L2. This fight is a little bit weird because whenever our power gain is off cooldown, that's whenever the opponent power drains us, we gain a burst of power. I need to be really sure that it's not going to push me to 2 bars because I want my shocks to expire during my L1. I don't want to go back to an L2 now. So what I'm just doing is waiting for the shocks to expire enough so that I can throw my L1 and then they expire during the special 1. It's around about half the duration left that the special 1 will tick down so that they do expire. So all I'm doing is kind of just waiting until a little bit further than that halfway mark, and then we can make sure that the shocks expire during. You see there, we get it a little bit early, and that means that they just refresh. I get back to my L1 and I just let them expire a little bit more before I throw my next special one. So yeah, this is a weird Bill fight, but I just kind of thought it was a fun one. It was a challenge to get down, and I wanted to show that he could do it. So we go for another L1 here, and this time they do expire during. And we just need to get our opening, take this evade off cooldown, then we can step back into Relic, and we go to punish her there. The medium pulverizes an armor, and for some reason it breaks the game. So that's a bug that I've logged, but equally it could just be that Bill's too good and he kills the game. So next up, we're going to go for a BG's fight, and I'm going to take Bill against probably his best matchup in the whole game, Fanta. So the reason Bill is so good for Fanta is that he starts off with a blue buff in the top left called Steady, and that just makes him unable to glance. He just can't glance. He is the best glancing counter, probably the only technical glancing counter in the game. He is really, really good for it. He's also immune to power drain, so Fanta can't be annoying for us that way. And then his mediums pulverize armors like we mentioned before, so anytime Fanta does get an armor, at the start of the fight for example, it means that he can't do anything to us. Whenever he tries to power drain us there, we get our burst of power. You either want to get to your L2 before the first destination triggers, or you want to throw an L1 first. We'll see that a bit more in detail later. But now that we've got our shocks up, I just want to throw my L1. We just about get it in time. I should have let it expire a little bit more. This is the first fight I did with Bill, really, so I wasn't as good, but we want to let them expire a little bit more just so it's not that close for comfort. But yeah, 46 seconds, there was a rank 2 Bill versus an Ascended Fanta. He's really good for it. And next up, we're going into this war fight, courtesy of my alliance mate and fellow officer, Hot Fuzz. So this is EMP mod Path 2B Fanta. He gains power when buffs expire, and he applies placebos to us. This is also the clarity tactic, and so you can just see how good Bill is for clarity. Fuzz here is noticing that the power detonation is going to trigger before he can get to L2, and he doesn't want to shoot up to L3, so this means that he throws his L1 a little early, just to avoid the power gain pushing him to 3 bars, because you don't really want that. So he throws his L1, and even without any ramp, like, he's already down to 45% without doing almost anything in the fight. Bill is handling this so well. This was a tough matchup. We weren't really sure who to assign. We ended up going with a Magneto. Fuzz got Bill from the track and just decided, we decided together, let's try Bill there. And he absolutely crushed it. So Bill goes for his special 2 there. We've got 5 shocks on him now. Just need to make sure that we avoid this special 2. Very safe Fuzz, blocking it all. And then we go for a combo, go for our special 1, and this is so much overkill. 81k when Fanta's on about 20% health. Bill is a really good war champ. So seeing this and being a little bit inspired by it, I decided to rank 3 my Bill as well. I've been testing him all day, like I said, and I've just been seeing so many good things about him, so I brought him into war myself. And the fight I brought him for was this Guardian. So this is a rank 3 Guardian on Scared Stiff, Power Focus 2 and BubbleShield. Risky fight. The worry here is if he goes for a lot of L1s and then L2, he can just nuke pretty much anyone, even if they are shock immune. Bill is shock immune, so it means that we have a little bit more of a safety net, but it's still a risky fight. So to start off with, I just want to get clarity up as safely as possible, so we're going for medium light or light light. Go for a heavy there because it gives me a buff. And now we are up to 8, need to get to 10, decks this L1, and unfortunately he evades this punish of his heavy, but I react, I go back in, parry him, and pulverize that armor up. I really want to be sure that I'm pulverizing the armor up because I don't want the shocks to get hit by his native energy resist. I'm being safe here and just baiting his L1. It means that I don't really want him to go to L2, but I need to watch BubbleShield if I do push him to L2. So rooted here, just handle that. I know that he is not going to throw that special 1 while I'm in the corner, probably. So we decided to push him to L2 while we're on a safe amount of BubbleShield charges. So even if he throws this, like you see here, it's not going to take me up to 10 and then hit me. We wait out the root because I don't want to be dashing at him when the root triggers. And because we've got the L2 off, we go for the L1, the shocks are just expiring, and that closes out the fight. So hopefully those two war fights prove that you don't need to be fancy with Bill in war, you don't need to go for the heavy charge. It's similar to Scorpion, but in questing I would say that it is well worth doing. Bill is an excellent champ. I'm so glad I've got him. I've no regrets about the rank 3. I'm looking forward to making more content on him. But yeah, let me know what you want to see out of Bill. Let me know what you're impressed by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.